Hello and welcome to today's episode of Her Version. This podcast is dedicated to sharing stories of struggle and triumph, a platform that allows individuals to tell their truth in order to inspire and uplift others. For those of you that are new to this podcast and like content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow, like, and share. I am your host, Sabrina Victoria. Let's jump right in. Thank you for joining us today for this episode of Her Version. The Her Version platform is built on storytelling and the understanding that many times our greatest learning experiences come from listening to other people's stories. Today, I am speaking with an amazing woman named Jennifer Ramirez. Jennifer is an entrepreneur, author, speaker, and coach. She is the founder of And Rise, a nonprofit organization that empowers women to be the ultimate versions of themselves, no matter what adversities they face, and offers women in her community free counseling, free support groups, coaching, women's empowerment events, safe spaces to heal, and so much more. Jennifer is here to share a story of what abuse, sexual coercion, and ultimately finding her freedom and her voice looks like. Like so many, she was naive to what a toxic relationship was. I am excited to have her break some of these concepts down for females that are enduring relationships like this right now. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. When you say possessive, see, this was weird for me because I had the same issue, but I viewed it back in the day before personal development as like, we're so close.
We're so tight. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it's not.
Yeah. It was more like they didn't want me to be around. Like if they would see me hanging around another group of girls or hanging around them too much, they'd be like, oh, well, how come you're not spending that much time with me? And then I always felt like I had to like pull myself into 5 different people to make everyone happy. And in the moment, I didn't realize that was not healthy. But I thought the same thing, like, oh, she just loves me so much. She must spend all the time with me. But it was more like, no, I don't want to share you with anyone, which is not a healthy thing in any type of relationship.
Yeah. I didn't even after I kind of started diving into personal development, I didn't even recognize it until I started to realize, first of all, I was going through personal development first. Mm-hmm. So I had a different viewpoint. Right. But a couple years in, I was like, why are they allowed to hang out with other girls?
Right.
But I was not.
Mm-hmm.
It was so interesting to me. Yeah. And so interesting how I what is that called? Enabled it. Mm-hmm. I didn't have any other friends.
Yeah.
Even though
people used to ask me with certain people, why are you friends with that person? They're kind of crazy. And I'm like, oh, they have a good heart. Because that's just how I am. I'm like, always look at people like for, what's inside, not what's outside. So people would see like me. So there's this one friend, she was much older than me. Why are you hanging out with that old lady? She's kind of crazy. And I'm like, because she has a nice heart. She's cool. Like she means well. That's the problem. She means well. And it's almost like the same thing with dating guys with potential. Just because they have potential doesn't mean they actually are going to do anything with themselves. The same thing as she means well. She might mean well, but she's not doing well, or like, being nice to other people and things like that. So that's something that I also realized, but I didn't realize it till way after the fact we weren't friends anymore. And I was like, wow, okay, I get it now. The type of people that I was like choosing to surround myself with.
Yeah, 100%. I'm actually very grateful because I have never actually left a friend, but I feel very grateful for that. Mm-hmm. They have left me. However, because I don't know if I would have been able to cut it off, mm-hmm. but I was super hurt. But same with you, exactly what you said. Like now looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was not even healthy. Mm-hmm. Like, why did I even keep that going for like pulling is, like putting all this effort and
And I
hours?
can tell you why I personally did it. And this came from me healing as I was codependent, not just on romantic relationships or friendships. So I was just as codependent on them as they were on me. And now I've realized that that's not healthy, in any
Mhm.
type of relationship at all. So, and I think that, a lot of people out there are codependent without even realizing what that even means, for one, and for two, that they're in that type of situation.
Totally. I
Yeah.
100% agree.